Thank you so much for that. We are talking politics, local politics today at 4 o'clock. Campaigns are heating up in local election races. School boards and municipal government seats are on the ballot. In Topeka, the mayor's race will see a primary with 6 candidates seeking to succeed Mike Padilla. Spencer Duncan is one of them, and he is here today as we get to know all 6 of the candidates here over the next few weeks. Welcome to you. You were one of the early announcers in this race as well. A little bit about yourself, Spencer Duncan, for those who have never met you or know you.
Yeah, I'm a Topeka native. In fact, I represent District 8, which is the same district I grew up in, right next to the Shunganunga in the Crestview area. My wife and I own a business here. We've got an 11-year-old son. I work for the League of Kansas Municipalities, representing all the cities of Kansas. And I guess there's me in a nutshell.
There's you in a nutshell. What sparked you to get into politics? First of all, at the city council level.
Yeah, being from here, it always sounds a little cliche, but it's absolutely true. I love this community, and I thought my skill set put me in a position to say I think I could represent the citizens of Topeka in my district as a city council person. So I put my hat in the ring 8 years ago, ran for mayor once, that didn't win, ran for city council in my second term, and so far that's what I've tried to embrace, my love of this community and showing my knowledge of this community to try to make it better.
Why take that to the mayor's race?
Why run for mayor now again? Because I think our mayor, despite what people think, I get these emails that say, why do you just want to cut ribbons? And I believe our mayor has a much bigger role than that. I think that it's very critical that we take the voice of the citizens into City Hall. I've been very proactive that as a city council person, including people in the conversation. I also think the mayor needs to be in the building on a regular basis to make sure that direction of the council is being followed through by our staff, even though we have a city manager.
You've been on the council, so one thing that council members are getting a lot of questions about is Hotel Topeka. Why did the city buy a hotel? And why do we still have a hotel? And what are we doing about it?
So we have dozens of events that go to that event center only because it has a hotel. And had we not preserved it, those events would not come to this community. The other hotels told us it was critical to their business model, so we did it to save it. But I've always said 2 things. I'm never going to spend taxpayer dollars to renovate it, and I'm going to sell it and get our money back. I will tell you we are on that path. Look for an announcement, I hope, very soon about getting it off the tax rolls and into the private market. And that's why we did it, and that's been the path to do it. I will say it's not the top question I get. Believe it or not, as I'm walking all these doors, people really do want to know my plan for lowering property taxes, improving our roads, public safety, affordable housing. Then we get to the hotel. But I will say it's a talking point, but it's not the top of the list people are asking me about.
When you talk, let's talk about affordable housing then. Yeah. What can the city do at their level, especially when we talk about improving affordable housing and then the homelessness conversation?
Yep.
We have seen so many consultants come through, and then we get another consultant that comes through. So when are we going to see action, and what should be the city's role instead of saying, well, we're going to have our private partners absorb all of this, because private partners are absorbing a lot right now?
They shouldn't absorb it, but they should do the work. In other words, we need to offer them the resources, take the money we're spending to sort of recreate programs, stop recreating things, give the community partners who are doing the work, the All Hands on Deck, the Let's Helps, all those groups, let them increase what they're doing to address the problem instead of us as a city trying to do it over and over again, which when we adopted the Built for Zero model late last year, that's what it leans into, and we're finally seeing some progress on that front.
And how do you get public buy-in to that? And by that I mean people think there are these solutions that should be done, we should build this or create this, but then nobody wants it in their backyard. So where do we find the happy medium in finding a location for some of these things to happen?
Which is why it has to be bottom up, not top down, which is why letting these groups do the work and then telling us as a city where to put those resources is how we get it done, because they're the ones out there every day actively talking to the community. They know where the community is okay with it, where they're not okay with it, what they want to see done. So listen to them. I know that's different in politics. Listen to what they tell us to do and then follow their lead instead of us trying to dictate to everybody, this is what the city says we should do.
What are your ideas for reducing property taxes, if that's one of the top concerns? You're already on the council. What should you
So I've proposed mill levy decreases every year. Some years I've won that, some years I've lost it. I voted to stay revenue neutral. I plan to maybe do so again this year as we look at that. We've got to lower the mill. We also have to advocate at the state level for them to make some valuation changes, which I've been doing both in my role as a league person and on the city council. There's also programs we can implement. Last year, the council adopted, thankfully, my property tax rebate program, which helps rebate property taxes back to low-income seniors and disabled veterans. So if we lean into those programs, we can help the most vulnerable reduce their property tax burden.
Okay, and Hotel Topeka, at this point, as someone even who's running for mayor, would you take a proposal? Because there wasn't just that purchase price. Now we've continued to add more. Whatever. Are you going to settle for something less than recouping not just the purchase price, but also everything we've put into it?
The model we're looking at now allows us to recoup those dollars. It might be over time, say a 10 or 15 year period as we recollect, say, TGT, transient guest tax funds, or CID money attached to that hotel, but it will guarantee that over the course of those bonds that the taxpayers are on the hook for, those will be paid by those dollars, not the taxpayers.
Using guest tax money, though, does that then take away from other organizations that get it right
Only
now?
from that facility, not from other areas. So it would only be what's collected at the hotel.
Okay. Spencer Duncan, candidate for Topeka mayor, among 6, and you'll meet them all over the next several weeks. The primary coming up in August. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
We're counting down.